Welcome to Welsh Black Bees, and today I'm going to try and show you how I make a nucleus of bees. This was one that I made about a month ago. You can see it's doing quite well, and the bees are bringing in pollen, and there's a nice little colony in there. And I'm just going to show the nucleus box itself, because these are really interesting. It's made by BS honeybees. And if I take the lid off, first thing we see is a dual feeder, because this box is split into half. It's got two, look at this, it's got two compartments inside it and two entrances. There's one entrance here, and you can see the entrance off the other side there. And the advantage of this is that you can have nice small colonies side by side, separated by this small thin partition, and what happens is that the heat between those two colonies is shared. It's a bit like living in a terraced house, except you've only got two terraces, so it's like a semi-detached, and you get heat from your neighbours, free heat from your neighbours. So if your neighbours turn on their central heating to full and they like to roam around in their t-shirts in the winter, you probably don't need any heating at all in your house. Same works for these beehives, and I can testify, having used them for a couple of years, that they're fantastic bits of kit, really well made, all the spacing's right, and it's a really successful way to make nuclei bees compared to my other boxes, which are thin walled plywood with one entrance. So for these bees, these nuclei, you only need 3 frames, whereas a box like this you might need more frames because you get more heat loss. And apart from the box is a set of tools, because I'm going to demonstrate a really simple way of taking queen cells off a frame and making nuclei from them. So we need this, which is essentially a surgical scalpel, a set of snips for cutting this piece of wire, this bit of electrical wire, and the wire is going to be used for strapping the queen cell onto the side of the donated frame of brood and nurse bees. So let's take a look over to our donor colony, the other side of the apiary. This is the donor colony, and it's got 2 boxes of brood there, and if we look inside, I've removed a couple of frames already, and you can see it's packed full of bees, and there's brood and eggs on that frame. So if we just carefully try and take this out, first thing we want to do is look for the queen, because we do not want to transfer our nice healthy mature queen into a nucleus. That would be an awful waste. So I don't normally do this one-handed, but there we go. So if anybody can see the queen, let me know. Well, it's not a live video, so that's kind of pointless. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time here really carefully looking for the queen, particularly at the edges, and if the queen's moving quickly she'll scuttle over to the back of the frame, so I've got to constantly turn the frame over and backwards. And they're nice and friendly today, which is an advantage, so we can just relax, take our time, check for the queen, and then this frame will go over into that nucleus box with 5 others, and then we'll go back to the box, the colony that I've actually used for queen rearing itself. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time transferring these frames of brood and eggs, and most importantly nurse bees, over to that nucleus. Here's my 3 nuke boxes all ready to receive the new unhatched queens, but to make life a little bit easier for myself, I'm going to just bring the donor box a little bit nearer. So here's my donor box. So rather than have to walk over here every time, I'm just going to take this box off its stand and put this box of frames temporarily on this stand just for the flying bees to have somewhere to sit for a while. So I'll just do that now. Now here's the fun bit, or the difficult bit, whichever you want to call it. I'm going to cut the queen cells out one at a time with the scalpel very carefully here. Just leaving a little bit of wax at the top. Occasionally there's a wire, better to use unwired frames I guess. So this is quite tricky, especially as I'm using my left hand and I'm right-handed. So I'm cutting above the queen cell because that's where we're going to stick a bit of wire. It's normally a good idea to do this fairly quickly, and avoids the queen cells getting cold. It's not a cold day today, so we want to keep those queen cells at optimum temperature as much as possible. So normally they'll be surrounded by bees, so at the moment they're obviously out in the open air, so they will slowly start to get cooler. That could affect the quality of the queen. So in theory this queen should hatch in about 3 days time, according to my notes anyway, so that's determined by when the eggs were first put in the hive. So I've put a nice neat little rectangle there. There's a bit of wire there, so I'm going to have to get those snips, cut that wire there, and again under here there's a bit of wire. This queen cells actually come out quite nicely. It can get a bit messy when there's lots of brood around them, but this one's actually really quite nice. Right, just get the clips. Right, a bit of wire here. Right, that's cut. And before I do the other bit of wire, I'll put some of this electrical cable through the box here, so I can catch it when it falls off. Should just be able to press it through. It's slightly fiddly, especially when I'm doing it one-handed because I've got a camera in the other hand. So I've got that secure. Let's find a bit of wire. Right. At this stage I'm going to have to turn the camera off and do this with 2 hands, but I'll turn it back on again when we put the queen cell into the new frame. I've used the knife to cut a little bit of a recess into this frame, so then I'll just insert this queen cell into the gap that I've created. So again, it's a two-handed job I'm afraid, so no filming. There's the queen cell recessed into the frame, and just to finish off, snip that bit of wire off. Yeah. Great. So now I just need to very carefully put this frame back into the box. So here's the box, make a bit of space. Put this one in. very carefully put this one in. And carefully bring that one back against it. Yeah, it's perfect. So that queen cell's in the middle of the frames that are closest to the divides. So those two frames. So this last frame has got some stores in it. So that can go in now. We've got stores, brood, eggs, loads of nurse bees. Perfect recipe for a successful nucleus. However, statistically, only get about 60% success, even with using these amazing boxes and using was essentially a grafted queen cell. Right, let's do the rest of them now.